Hey, what's up? My name is John Bonjour. I'm a comic artist and film enthusiast. Thunderbolts Asterisk is out, and I'd really like to talk about that asterisk, but not in like a butthole kind of way, in case that was in question. Okay, so Thunderbolts is officially out, and if you haven't seen it, don't watch this video because it's gonna be all spoilers. I'm gonna be telling you what the asterisk is because Marvel told you what the asterisk is, and that's pretty much why I wanted to make this video. But real quick, I have two sides of this that I want to address. One, in fiction, in universe, in connection to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What do I feel about the asterisk? What it means, all that. The other, just the way that they've handled the asterisk, because I think it's pretty interesting. So we'll do the first. That's usually how that works. In canon, Thunderbolts asterisk actually means New Avengers, and I think that's wonderful. I really do. It's this thing where I think if they had announced that the movie was New Avengers and they put this cast in front of us, all of us would have been a little bit like, yeah, are you sure? Because that's what we did when they told us this was the Thunderbolts team. If we had known that this was an Avengers team, it would have been even more like, this is your guys, huh? This is who we're going for. So I think it was very smart, just as a reveal tactic. I think it's extremely fun. This is like a closeted Avengers movie, which I think is a really fun vibe. I've only seen it the one time, and I'd like to watch it again from the perspective of being an Avengers movie, because I wonder if it plays in that world. Like, I wonder, there's something about this, the Thunderbolts, that feels like an underdog kind of thing. I don't know if this plays as an Avengers movie or not, because I haven't seen it twice. I'd like to see it again, because it's a great movie. But it's this fun thing that I think was a good marketing tactic. It got us all interested in learning what the asterisk was gonna mean, and I'll really dive into that later. But more importantly, the fact that it is the New Avengers, I think is very fun. And I think the thing that really seals the deal for me, the thing that really lands the plane, is that the movie ends with a series of article titles, photos, different reactions from the press and the public in the cinematic universe, in the world, being like, what? Excuse me? Which is extremely fun, because that's exactly what people outside the universe are doing also. It's a fun thing when any studio gets to predict what their audience is gonna do. It's a real fun thing when Marvel gets to do it. This is maybe the best case example of a studio, or specifically Marvel, predicting how the general world is gonna feel about something and just getting right ahead of it and being like, yeah, this is intentional, this is how it's supposed to feel. Even to the point of that end credit scene where they're like, the New Avengers with a Z, which is adorable. And like having that, there's that kind of Fantastic Four-y moment where they get like these branded jerseys, and it's a fun little bit. Fantastic Four 2005, the Tim Story one, not Fantastic Four. It's also connected to the Fantastic Four because it's like the point of the end credit scene. In the universe, I think this is really fun, and I've given it some thought. In my review, I said that I wasn't sure if I liked where they were going with this like two dueling Avengers teams. It kind of feels like Civil War, but again, and it feels like they're trying to earn something that doesn't exist, because the last time we saw Bucky and Sam Wilson interact, they were all lovey-dovey and being fun and cute and happy. And so it felt a little weird to kind of draw that tension outside of the frame. And I think that in a way, I still agree with that, in the sense that I do think if they don't further address that, if they don't show us some of that later and kind of dig into that in the film, in some whatever film, Avengers, whatever it ends up being, if they don't dig into that tension, it's kind of a missed opportunity. It feels like a really weird, it feels kind of like the Hulk deciding not to be the Hulk anymore in between movies. So there is that possibility, but also I think they're setting that up to discuss it, to make it something. Point being, I really like the idea of there being a bunch of Avengers teams. I like the idea that we might be able to get like a West Coast Avengers with Wonder Man and, I don't know, with some of the Ant-Men and She-Hulk, and like the idea that there could be a West Coast Avengers, a Young Avengers, the New Avengers, the Avengers. Avengers is fun because it's a more localized thing, because they're such an important part of the universe from the superhero perspective that they need to be kind of dispersed, and to do that you need to have, it's like a company, you know, it's like a franchise. And I think there's a corporatized franchise element to the Avengers that I think is particularly fun, and I would like to see them kind of get into that in the upcoming movies. So that's my thoughts from an in-universe perspective, from just how I feel about it as a choice to make the asterisk mean New Avengers. I'm all for it. I think it's really fun. It's a great team. The Thunderbolts really did some great character work on some of these guys. Ghost not included. Yeah, Ghost is fine. Like, Ghost is just kind of vibing. Thunderbolts Asterisk really made it feel like these were characters. These are people we want to see interact more, and it's a fun team. I'm excited to see more of them. It's just there's a dynamic of those particular characters that are all not adept at doing most of what they have to do, being in charge of like Avengers Tower and like trying to talk to the iPad to scramble the jets. It's a beautiful thing. They know exactly what they're doing, and it's a really fun vibe that they're creating, and I'm excited to see more of that. But that's not really the reason I wanted to make this video. I want to talk about the marketing aspect of that particular choice. And by that I mean, Thunderbolts was announced as I think it was just announced as Thunderbolts, and then eventually it came out that it was going to be Thunderbolts Asterisk. It was some big event. Kevin Feige came out on stage in a hat with the little asterisk, and he had to be like, it's not a butthole, it's for Thunderbolts. That's probably my favorite thing that Kevin Feige has ever had to clarify, because that's hilarious. But yeah, they announced that it was going to be Thunderbolts Asterisk, and everybody was like, that's extremely weird. Like, that's such a weird call. And it is a weird call. And it's the kind of call that only Marvel could make, I think, at this point, because they are a franchise that is so immune to stupid decisions. We've had some lesser things come out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that would have killed, well, not a Sony Pictures Universe of Marvel characters. The Spump can never die, but like would have killed a DC, or would have killed, say, a James Bond. If you put out a James Bond that's just kind of you really got to think about whether or not you're putting out the next James Bond for a while. Marvel just doesn't operate under that same way. And part of that, I think, is because it's a train that kind of can't be stopped quickly. It's this thing where if you have a bad movie, there's another movie that's already 98% done, so you just might as well finish that. And if you feel good enough about that, you're probably working on 3 or 4 other things that are, like, it's just, the pipeline is just so backed up by design that if a horrible thing happens, like if a movie comes out that makes them absolutely no money, like is a full-blown bomb, they've still put so much money into these other things that they at least have to put out what's already been filmed and edited. And so it's this weird thing where like they're kind of immune to Secret Invasion, or I don't know, some people weren't super big on the Marvels or that kind of thing. They're immune to a Thor Love and Thunder. It may not make a ton of money, but if it makes enough to break even, they're not even going to think about not doing more of these, because you never know when another Spider-Man might come along and make them $2 billion. And so I guess what I'm saying is that this Asterisk thing is the kind of thing that only this could pull off. This, or like an A24 movie that you just kind of go, I don't know what they're doing, but it's a very A24 kind of move. It feels ridiculous. And it kind of is. It's clearly a marketing gimmick. It's this thing where they've crafted this fake mystery, this little mystery box around what does the asterisk mean in Thunderbolts. But it like works so well that it kind of became the logo for the movie. Like it became the image. You see the asterisk, there's posters where it's just a big asterisk and a couple of people in it. Like it worked, and it shouldn't have worked. Whoever came up with the asterisk for Thunderbolts is a genius, and also really could have been fired if this has gone a different way. The fact that the movie is good is also a pretty huge help, I think, in that regard. Like, if this had been an okay movie, or if this had been Captain America Brave New World asterisk, and the asterisk was like, plus also it's a Red Hulk. All right, man. Like, I don't think we would have the same reaction that we're having now. But also, they made a really interesting call the weekend of release, and by that I mean the Sunday after the Thursday that it officially came out. They started telling people what it was. Marvel has decided to just fully reveal the asterisk means New Avengers. They've come out with new posters. Image at a movie theater says New Avengers. There is no avoiding the fact that Thunderbolts is a new Avengers movie. And at first, I was pretty upset about that. Even though I had seen the movie on Thursday, it was like some people don't get a chance to see the movie within the first 2 to 3 days of opening, and that has to be pretty frustrating if you were really interested in what the asterisk meant, if you were really engaged in what that could possibly be. And let's just say you were out of town for a weekend, you come back and you're buying a ticket for Thunderbolts, and you're like, well, shit, man, like, that's the whole thing. That was the whole point of it. And I understand the frustration that has come out from that feeling. Additionally, I've given it some thought, and as much as it kind of sucks, and they did kind of put themselves in a box, I do think it was the right call to reveal it that early, because, and I have sympathy for the people that didn't see it and are frustrated that that's a spoiler, but my reasoning for thinking it's okay is twofold. One, it's not that big a spoiler, all things considered. If you know that it's a new Avengers movie, your first thought is going to be what all of our first thoughts were when we heard that this was the Thunderbolts team, which is like, that's a weird call. How is that possibly true? It's not like the movie has been changed. The title is now New Avengers because of this thing that happened with the Void and also Valentina. It's just New Avengers, and so there is still an element of mystery to that. So I think that's not as bad as people are making it. It's not like if Bucky had died in this movie and the asterisk was Thunderbolts but also Bucky isn't in it for very long. Oh, a perfect example from the actual movie. It's not like the asterisk means minus Taskmaster, because that would obviously be an actual spoiler from the movie. The fact that they are the new Avengers is a really fun reveal, but it isn't inherently like a story-based spoiler. I think from that perspective, it does kind of suck, and it's just a box that they put themselves in, because my second point, you really couldn't reveal that next weekend. Like the weekend after this upcoming weekend, the weekend after, did that come out 2 weeks ago? Anyway, the weekend after official release weekend, if you put out that the asterisk means new Avengers 2 weeks out, 1 week out after the release, no one's talking about it. And I think it was a smart move to release it earlier rather than later, because you're getting that word of mouth. People are a little upset and making some posts, but you're also getting that word of mouth of like, oh shit, I didn't know this was an Avengers movie, maybe I'll go see it. Like, you're getting the buzz from releasing that as early as you did, while still giving it a few days for most of the people. The majority of the people that are really obsessed with figuring out what the asterisk is probably already saw it. Majority. I'm not saying everybody. So you're giving that window, and also getting the buzz of people being like, oh, is that what that is? There is an element of smart marketing that, while it is a little unfortunate that it's going to spoil for some people, I think probably was the right move, because again, a week after, nobody would be posting about how it's way too early. A week after, nobody would also be posting about I had no idea, because if you're in the circle to get the posts from a Marvel movie a week after they come out, you're in the circle that already saw the Marvel movie, or you're in the circle that doesn't really care if you get the spoilers and you just want to see what happens. I don't quite know to what extent they're changing the title. It seems like it is still Thunderbolts Asterisk is the official title of the release. I don't know if like the Blu-ray, I don't know what that's going to be. Is that going to be New Avengers? Is that going to say Thunderbolts? I genuinely don't know. It is kind of funny because I think Thunderbolts is a better title for the movie than New Avengers, but again, haven't seen it twice, so maybe that's not true. But I looked at the Cinemark website to see if they had changed it to New Avengers, and they haven't. It's still Thunderbolts, so I think the official title release is Thunderbolts Asterisk, and it's just this kind of like, we're all understanding what the asterisk is. We'll see though. I mean, it's just like when the Blu-ray comes out, I guess we'll find out. I'll be interested to see. I'll be buying it, of course, but that's my own personal proclivity, and that's my own damage to deal with. Point being, Thunderbolts Asterisk is out, and I just wanted to talk about the asterisk and how I think it was handled and how I feel about it. What do you think? What were your thoughts on how it was handled? Was it released too early? I would love to know what your thoughts are on the whole asterisk debacle. Please let me know in the comments below. Unless it's about buttholes, because I genuinely don't want to hear about it. Thank you so much for watching this video and checking out my channel. If you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on movies, comics, TV shows, asterisks, buttholes, I guess, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and comment down below what you'd like me to review next, or do none of those things because I am not your dad.